What? An error occurred? What the?
Uh-oh.
Of
Well, that ain't
course.
good. Okay. 4, 3, 2.
You're listening to
Split the defense.
Leafs Post-Game Edition.
Split the defense.
Is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004. Serving the Kingston and surrounding areas. Alongside co-host Craig Pearce and producer Ted Evans, here's your host, Jordan Webster.
What up? That's me. I'm Webby with CP and producer Ted. Here doing Split the Defense, Leafs post-game. Leafs just finished playing the Sens, and I am shocked they lost. Seems like it happens all the time. CP, if I told you the Leafs were going to score 2 in the first period and the Sens were going to score none, do you think the Leafs were going to win this game?
I mean, probably not because they suck when they have a lead. Every time that they seem to control a game at all, it's when they're coming from behind. No, I as soon as they went up 2-0 and it was a good first period, I was like, all right, well they can only play 40 good minutes, so let's have it in the second period, and it wasn't that great. So
Yeah, so the Leafs really owned the first period. Matthews shoots and it just touches Matt Knies' skate. So 5.5 minutes in, the game's 1-0. 23 seconds later, good forecheck works the puck back to the top of the zone. A chill pass across the net tips off Bertuzzi's stick and makes it 2-0. That was 8 goals in 9 games for Bertuzzi against Corpusalo. Had I known that pregame, I definitely would have put some money on that one. That's almost a
Yeah.
given. Like he would have been 7-8 before he went into this.
Yeah.
So that's end of one. Then in the second, the Sens owned it. They created a quick turnover in the neutral zone. Parker Kelly makes it 2-1, whoever that is.
Right?
Jones gives up a juicy rebound on an initial shot from Stutzla, and Batherson cleans it up, makes it 2-2. That's the end of 2. In the third period, Batherson from a sharp angle hits Jones in the back, and he kind of walks it into the net, kind of loses his bearings there where the puck is or how to keep it out. I mean, I don't know what anybody would do in that position. Then the Leafs pull the goalie with about 3 minutes to go, and Brady Tkachuk scores his 300th NHL point with an empty net goal, making it 4-2. And that's how this one ended.
Oof.
So, are you surprised, CP? I mean, as you say about the 40 minutes, but like, it's the Sens, man. It's the Sens. It
I
doesn't
mean, I
shock
think
me.
I think that's why I'm not surprised. Like, I don't know, this team just seems to have any game that seems to have any bit of adversity to it. I feel like they don't show up for. I don't know. I might be feeling like pretty blue about the team right now just because of losing to the Sens, but I don't know. It just seems like they just don't have. They might be hitting more than they normally do, but they still lack that like dig deep grit when it comes to like these like gritty games. Like coming off of a break too, like a lot of expectations. Unless you're if you're like gonna expect something from a team, like it's probably the Leafs probably are gonna let you down. That's basically how I'm feeling at the moment. I don't know. Can you cheer me up a bit, or are you just gonna have
No,
the
I'm
same
going to weigh
feeling?
in a little bit here. This first thing I want to bring up is
Yeah.
William Nylander. When he is moving his feet, he is one of the best players in the world. And tonight, he
Yeah.
just was not doing that. And maybe offensively, it's funny because he's a guy that you see gets a spark when the puck comes in his area or it comes close to him. But as soon as he loses it, it's like his body language changes and he shrugs. Oh, and William Nylander is at his best when he doesn't shrug and he says, "No, F you, I'm going to take the puck back." And he just wasn't doing that, especially on the second goal from Batherson when Stutzler threw it there and Batherson made
Yeah.
it 2-2 with the rebound. Willie was on the back check, and he really just wasn't doing enough to stop anybody. Didn't stop the puck, was kind of trying to play the puck instead of the man. He wasn't skating. That's a problem for me because, like, we need two lines rolling, and now we got Mitch and Austin going again, and you have William Nylander's going to start slagging off. Like, enough is enough. What happened here? Do you think Keefe fucked all this up by changing the lines up and moving them back? Do you think he's the one who ruined Nylander's goal? Because he hasn't been the same guy since they put him up with Matthews to start.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't put it on Keefe. I put it on him. Like, like you said, there's a like visual difference when like Nylander is playing well, and it's mostly his feet going, and a lot of what we were talking about in Sweden was the way he was back checking, just like Matthews does, right, and stealing back pucks, and I think you've made all these points, but yeah, like just not seeing it, and so I don't put it on Keefe. Like I feel like he goes into like an autopilot mode sometimes, it seems, and I think that's what he kicked early in the season. Was he was engaged for the entire game and in every game, but no, like especially that play with the with Riley on the shorthanded goal. Like there was a clear right play to make, and it was to take the man in the center of the ice. He just chooses to like go 2-on-1 with that guy. It almost never is a good idea. Yeah, like just he wasn't. I think those are some of those like autopilot moments where he's just like out there doing his thing, but until the puck is on his stick, like he's not actually engaged in what he's doing, and you're never gonna play, like you're never gonna be your best when the puck is on your stick if you're not doing all the things, right? So
And that's the
yeah,
thing.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't even have to be on his stick. It's just when it's in an offensive opportunity. He wheeled tonight when he was in the offensive
Yeah.
zone and looking for an area to get open. He looked great. And
They
he was
all wheel,
smooth and he
yeah.
was skating, but it was in his own zone. It was the lackadaisical skating back and forth and kind of barely poke a check out, and you're not doing much of anything out there, and that is part of the reason that that's part of the reason why people, when you were doing so well, were saying, no, you're not worth $11 million, because this is part of the William Nylander that we see. Like, come on, Willie, prove us wrong. Am I wrong here? Like, this guy's got to step it up. He was showing that he can do it consistently for a month, like a game after game after game. Now, why did he just lose it? Where did it go?
Yeah, and I think this has always been Willie though, and like where everyone was singing like that he needed to have like the 11 or 12 million dollar contract, and this is the reason why he shouldn't, because he's not necessarily gonna put the team on his back every night. He's a perfect secondary star player when he's going, but I don't think I would ever trust him to be like the face of a franchise or anything. So I don't know. We should have seen this coming, really, because he's never been a 100-point player. It would have been nice if he kept doing it, and like he did get a point tonight too. Like it's not like it's just yeah, it's all the other things like he said, and like even I don't expect like the world from Nylander really. I just expect him to show up in flashy moments here and there, and we didn't see a lot of that. But Matthews, after the first period, I thought I was going to sing his praises like he was the best player in the NHL, but kind of just lost it. Like he didn't have like the controlling momentum that he had been showing and did in the first period. I mean, that first goal is basically his, right? Just barely clips Nye's skate, but after that, I felt a bit of a drop off. Like I don't know. A lot of nothing, I feel like, from a lot of the guys. Like even like when we saw the fight, like I thought that might have been like the development of something better, but just like it seemed to be better for the Senators rather than for the Leafs. So
Yeah. See, I want to go back a bit, and I want to disagree with the fact that that's just kind of what Willie is and what we've all accepted. Like, that's unacceptable. We need William Nylander. If the Toronto Maple Leafs want to win anything, if they have aspirations of winning anything, dick squat, they are going to need William Nylander playing at the absolute top level. He's going to need to look like the Matthews on the defensive. He's going to need to be the guy on another line, because when they brought John Tavares in to be the guy on another line, he's kind of he's what we all expected. He's that point per game, comes in, make it 2, might not score for the next game. He's John Tavares. He does the little things. He is the acceptable level of what he is. He's in his later of his prime. William Nylander is young enough and clearly has it in him at this age, this season, to do that. So if the Leafs want to win anything, They need Willie running at like 115% like he was during the, I don't know, November-ish. But I mean, at least they're always good in November. But they need Willie like that all year long, and they need him to show it that he can do it when he doesn't want to, because you're going to get to the playoffs and other people aren't always going to give it to you. You need to learn how to go take it when it's not always there in these dead dog days when things start to tighten up. People's systems are starting to come together. Defensive play is starting to look tighter. Go get it. You need William Nylander to be better.
I've actually kind of a couple things here. The one thing is that like Willie's always been the guy who doesn't show up at majority points of the regular season, but he's been the guy that shows up in the playoffs. So like he does have the ability, you're right, but I think that he just doesn't have the ability to do 82 games of those plus the playoffs. It's just not in him. And so like we are going to see some games where he's not as good as normal, but if he stays on this team, then I think then you hope you can rely on him when it does come to playoff time. It's the other guys that haven't seemed to show up when it really matters. They're good at the 82. So, but in my second thought is that like maybe it's time that like Brad Treliving makes a huge splash and Willie's out of here, because he's like the one guy that you can trade who only has a 10 team protection. Marner has like the full thing. So like he's never going. Same with Tavares. So I mean, like if Brad Treliving, he never wanted to be stuck in the Matthew Tkachuk, Johnny Gaudreau situation. So he might do something a little bit more crazy than you or I would do, because we know that Willie's a playoff type of guy. So, but I wouldn't be shocked if he does something like really crazy and goes out and that's the guy that he ships out, because he's watching these 82 games, and not that he hasn't seen Willie play before, but our general manager is kind of like just getting used to the players, watching every single game of them, and maybe he's not necessarily liking these type of games. Like we don't, but we're kind of used to it, or at least I am. I know you want a lot from him, but I'm just like Willie. To me, he's going to mail it in.
How much better
once in a
could
while.
it be for everybody else?
For
right?
sure.
It's not just Willie. Like I understand that Willie is good in the playoffs, but it's the chemistry, it's the building of the team, it's the culture of the winning and the trying, it's the confidence. It's the confidence that we've talked about so many times of being able to win and being able to take control. And I just wish that we could see more of it on the defensive side, because it's sad to see when William Nylander's out there and getting scored on. You've seen times when he totally could prevent that, and that he has the skill and the know how to get there and how to stop that. And sometimes he just doesn't have the will to go and do it. So that's what really bothers me. I think we've spent enough time on that. Do you got a topic there you want to jump into second here?
Just off the bat, like I loved seeing the Lagesson fight. I feel like he, jumped in there and good, but otherwise that third pairing was pretty horrible. Same with the fourth line actually was really horrible as well. Yeah, Lagesson and Benoit were not good. I don't know. Benoit to me I like just because of the big moments, but neither of them really seem to be able to make like some clean passes. It's a really nice having Liljegren back, because he might do a lot of things just average, but one thing that he can do is make crisp passes to his D partner or out of the zone. So it's been nice seeing him, but I'm waiting for this defense trade. I think maybe the goalie market's been the reason we haven't seen it yet, but I think I'd like to see this upgrade on this blue line, because Lagesson, even though he was the guy that fought, I feel like he's maybe not. I don't necessarily want him in the lineup. So.
Yeah, I know you need more than that. Gio's close though, right? Gio's supposed to be coming back soon. That's gonna take one of those guys off, and I think a Gio with one of those guys could work. And I honestly think that maybe a Gio, his veteran presence, his mentorship with a Timmins could help and work, right? Gio knows how to play, he knows how to stay back, and he might be able to help the kid and teach him, like you stay back, or here's where you should be, and things like that. I think Giordano could certainly help elevate Timmins' game, because remember at one time Giordano was one of the top offensive defensemen in the league. right?
Right, yeah.
And he wasn't.
And always defensive responsible as well.
And he wasn't exactly a liability, is what I was gonna say. So like
Yeah.
him being back there, those two guys, that could just completely eliminate that, and we wouldn't even have to worry about that anymore. But it's good to know that, like, I think maybe they've just played too much. It's good to know they can come in, right? Maybe they aren't supposed to play all these games. They're only supposed to play once every couple of weeks, and that's good. And that's the kind of guy you need. But when they came in, they looked great off the start. And if they can go back, sit on the bench when Gio comes back, and maybe you get some more of this Timmins action in, and you're rotating between a right side of Timmins, the Legason, Benoit kind of thing, then maybe you'll see, right? You'll see which one you can weed out, and if either of them, which one basically excels at that point. If any of them play themselves out of a spot, or if one just steps up and takes it. I just can't see anyone stepping up and taking it. That's why I chuckle and say that. Timmins, Benoit, or Legason, they're just going to own that spot. No, they're going to be jumping out for the rest of the year.
I will say though that they have done awesome while we have had injuries, like perfect guys to step in, and the Leafs, like, now we know that they have a lot of depth below the 6 pairings. But if you add one guy, that puts Liljegren probably on the third pair, and what a world that would be. I love to see Liljegren back on the third pair with Gio. That would be maybe one of the better third pairs in the league.
Yeah, that'd be very good. Man, something that I noticed tonight, just as you say that, we'd always talk about McCabe maybe jumping too much up into the play. But is it just that the system is designed to send the puck to the left D a lot? Riley does really well with it, but their systems are designed, it's to end up on that left point a lot. And I wonder if you just need a guy that's better than that. That, like, McCabe is all right. He makes $2 million. You tried to talk yourself into it, and he's all right. It's just like, how much better would it be if he was right-handed? Like, if you could throw him on the right and get a guy there that actually played well. I think a lot of the times when McCabe is like, you're like, oh no, if it was a guy you trusted, you'd be like, oh great, because the puck is going to be in that area regardless, right? It's just whether or not McCabe is the man there to take it or not.
Yeah, I will say that I have been happier with McCabe. Like, I feel like he is kind of falling into his role a little bit.
He's all right.
Yeah, he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been outstanding, but I do like for the 2 million cap hit, he provides like a big hit sometimes, and he's finding like the balance, I think, now of when to jump in up and when not to. But I like McCabe. I want him to, like, I hope that he gets that second pairing spot and he just gets a better pairing for his right side. And hopefully he can keep it up by like choosing the right spots when to jump up or not. But anyone who's willing to throw a huge hit, like, they've got a soft spot in my heart, you know.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's why Benoit, I've been so like reluctant to say anything bad about Benoit, because like I know he can do that, right?
That's
so
a
it's like a
third
bit of a
liner,
gray
though.
area.
Like,
Yeah.
third pairing, that's fine for a third pairing. McCabe at $2 million in the third pairing, it seems expensive, but like, okay.
So are you comfortable
like-
with like Brody on the top right side and Liljegren on the
No.
second pair right side? So we're getting
I'm
more than
thinking-
one guy.
I'm thinking Brody. I think we need a top pair right D, because we're gonna have Brody and Lily on the second pair.
Okay.
That's honestly,
I like
think my
that,
best
yeah.
equation. Because I don't know, like, Jake McCabe, like, Brody is a lot quieter and he's not going to provide that offensive spark, but I feel like he'd make a lot better decisions than McCabe when put into those positions when the puck comes onto his stick, being in that L2 hole. Like, you see the plays develop, and you could just literally flop guy here. That's where these guys are supposed to stand. That's how the systems are set up. This is where I am. And when the puck comes up to him, we say, oh, no, he shouldn't. I mean, even I'm talking about an offensive zone cycle even. Like, wouldn't it
Yeah.
be nice to have somebody who wasn't Jake McCabe there, that could maybe make a better play, maybe make a better read, instead of trying to pinch up, he just stays back. And, you know, we don't see as much offense from it, but that's kind of more what we were looking for. But we get to keep Jake McCabe on the third pair where he throws the big hits, and Simon Benoit can be on the bench for injury insurance. He throws big hits too, but he's just not he's not cutting it. Right.
The only
that's,
thing
that's where I see it. I don't see Jake McCabe being the L2 guy.
Right. The only thing is if you put Brody there, then we're still lacking like right shots, because Brody's
I know.
playing on the left. So like I don't want Connor Timmins to be the third line pairing with McCabe. So like that, I think in if we're putting Brody on the left side, then I think we need 2 right shot defensemen.
Well, what if we just put McCabe can play the right? What if we put Benoit McCabe as your third pairing? Boom.
Yeah, maybe
Here
actually,
comes
because
the boom.
yeah, less competition for McCabe on the right side too. So yeah, he could maybe fare better than playing on the second pairing right side or something. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think he played well. I think he played well when he played on the right side recently. He had to do it for a game, maybe 2, but then Keefe immediately switched him back after he did well, which is crazy because the Leafs are 100% lacking right shot defensemen.
Yeah.
So the Tavares line was 100% the best line tonight. I wish you could find this information on Natural Stat Trick for forwards, but their expected goals for the Willie, Bertuzzi, and Tavares line led the team by a landslide. It was 73.13 tonight. Actually, am I looking at this right? Expected goal for percentage, 100% for Nick Robertson, Calle Yarncroke, and Max Domi at 5v5. They had 100% expected goals for. Holy shit, boys!
Yeah, Domi was
thinking that can't be
flying out
right.
there.
That's 7
Yeah.
minutes of 20. That's 7 minutes and 22 seconds of ice time. They were 100% expected goals for. Talk about a
9
good night from
chances
the Buys.
for 0 against. Yeah.
Yeah, the fourth.
Yeah,
line
Domi
really
was
got
flying for
caved.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, obviously, man. Like I seen it. They looked all right, but like I didn't think that it was that good. That's awesome how the stats work out like that, right?
Yeah.
The fourth line really ended up getting caved. They had expected goal
yeah.
score of 15%. Not good at all. We're not looking you to score goals, but like we'd hope that you're not expecting 85% of the goals when you're out there to be scored on you, boys. Like keep it somewhere in the 50s. Don't put anything in the net. We'd be happy with that. But yeah, I was gonna say the Bertuzzi, Tavares, William Nylander line tonight offensively were buzzing. They looked really good. They were definitely like on fire tonight. Matthews looked good in his own. Marner's kind of stale tonight, but it was the second line that really every time they came out on the ice, I was looking and thinking, oh, this could be one.
Yeah, Bertuzzi to me was the real driver there. Like I felt like every time the puck was on net, like he was in on it, like almost in the net every time. And I think they had to pull him out of the net like at least 3 or 4 times. So, yeah, I had a great showing from like Bertuzzi, Tavares, and Willie, I guess too. Yeah, I can't believe like they only were 75. You said every time they stepped out, it was only 75% of the time, but. For Domi and Robertson and Yarncroke, like 100%. That's just mind blowing, actually.
That is
especially
mind-blowing,
because
isn't it? That can't be right.
yeah, and now just thinking about it, they like Robertson like ranked 2 off the boards, and Yarncroke had like the missed one timer in the middle of the ice. So like they could have their numbers could have been like even better. Like 9 chances for could have been like 12. So yeah,
They had 5 high danger chances, 4-0 against.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's something. Robertson to me, like I still think that he's going to be like playing either somewhere else or the Marlies by the season end, but that's awesome for them. Like the better that he plays, the more that he's worth. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean Ottawa's not exactly deep though, right? Playing Ottawa's third line, the third best competition to those guys. I think they probably should have feasted. Would have been nice to see a little bit more actual production from them tonight.
Yeah.
Because they absolutely did own. It's too bad they couldn't get a couple in the net. Looking back at here, high danger chances for Tavares line was 7-1. They had 7. They gave up 1. But Matthews, they had 3. They gave up 7 in 5v5. That's a lot of high danger chances to be giving up.
Yeah.
So like it looks like they gave up 9 5v5 this whole. They gave up 11 or 12 the other night, and it seemed crazy. So 9's not good either.
And I bet most of those are for the Matthews line are in the first period too. Like if we could look, I know we can't look that up, but I bet you all of theirs are in the first period, and the rest are in the second and third for against them.
You want to keep talking stats here. Tavares at one point he was 8 for 10. I don't even think he did much better than that. And this was only the third time this year he's been under 50% in the faceoff dot. Giroux absolutely owned him tonight.
I remember he did last time too. So I think Giroux just has his number. So
Yeah.
I think all these, like the game was closer than all these stats look, and I think it's because we haven't got to it yet. But Corpusalo, just a leaf killer. Like that dude can't play against anyone else. He has like a 4 or 5 expected goals against the rest of the league, but against the Leafs, especially when it really counts, like the play-in series, it still haunts me. Yeah, that dude just, I don't know what it is. Like he just has everyone's number. Like,
Yeah, if only they could play like that or against the rest of the league. It seems to be that a lot of those Senators really play well. They really take the Battle of Ontario seriously. And, there is a big importance on the Battle of Ontario, right? Like, if the Sens are good, it's better for the league and the Leafs. The Leafs, I can't even remember the word. Anyways, the Leafs, because if the Sens are good against the rest of the league, then it's like these games, the Leafs are going to have something to play for. Maybe they'll step up. Maybe these games will be more exciting. When they play the Sens, I kind of, I'm not a huge fan of watching the Leafs play the Sens. Their record shows that it's kind of 50-50, which is great. You never know if they're going to win, they're going to lose, but it's always a groaner. And it always seems to be these guys who aren't very good come and show up against the Leafs, especially in the Battle of Ontario. And I just think that if the Senators were better and they could get it together, it would be a lot better for hockey and the Battle of Ontario and the Leafs and the whole product that's going out on the ice. Because imagine tonight that the Leafs were second place and the Senators were third.
well,
Right?
like that would have been awful because then they probably would have lost like 7-2. Like they
don't
had
know
a
that.
tough enough time with this struggling Sens team. So
Yeah, but then they go and they beat better teams, right? All the time. It's just how it is. The Leafs always play down to their opponent. We constantly talk about that. But it would just be better to watch these games if they kind of meant more. And it sucked that the Sens have sucked for a few years. Like, as much as I love to hate on the Sens and punch on them, I'd rather see them be good, right? I'd rather see them not as don't as good as us, but like good,
Competitive.
better. Yeah, competitive, like to the point where like these battles matter, because these games kind of like, what did this game matter in the standings? Really, like the Leafs are still really good and the Sens are still really far down, and it doesn't like what if the Sens flip flopped and now the Leafs ended up being third tonight and the Sens are second? How exciting is that going forward? The next time they play each other, you're like, oh boy, I want to watch this game, but they're not, and it sucks.
yeah, for sure. Like I wish it did matter more for the standings, but I mean, for the Leafs' sake, it's funny. I have like these mixed emotions all the time because I always cheer for Canadian teams when it comes to playoff time, but through the regular season, it sucks losing to them. So I just wish that like I don't wish them to have great regular seasons, to be honest. But I hear your point for sure. It's just tough to say that I want them to be better because like we lost to them. So like I don't want them to be better. I want the Leafs to be better. But I hear your
Yeah,
point
well,
for sure.
like I was looking up the record tonight, and like it's like dead even. Like it's like 18-5-3, 18-3, or yeah, something like that, 15-3-5 or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but for the back and forth, like it's right there. They're within a couple wins of each other. It's basically 500 hockey. They flip flop back and forth. You think, oh, the Sens have our number, and the Leafs win 6-2. It's like I'm just saying that would be a lot more fun being so tight and so close where it's back and forth and back and forth, and I'd really get up for these games. Maybe the team would get up for these games more if the Sens weren't hot garbage every year. But they're hot garbage every year. They've been good for like 2 years, like actually good against the rest of the league. They're always good against the Leafs, CP. Like, I'm not saying they don't play well against Leafs. They always play well against the Leafs. But then you go like bet on their next game, like bet on them to lose next game because they're going to lose. They beat the Leafs. They won their Stanley Cup. That's it. It's over for them now. They don't try against the rest of the league. And if they did, I just think it'd be a lot better for the Battle of Ontario and to watch these hockey games. I wouldn't hate Ottawa to be competitive, tough team. Like, it'd be fun to have them come in and be like Boston. Like, this is a measuring stick game. We got to grind and battle. Like, that fight tonight, it was kind of vanilla. I'd like to see a little bit more action, right? I'd like to see a little bit more blood, sweat, and passion out on the ice between those two teams. And if Ottawa's going to continue to stink, you're not going to see that.
Yeah, I think you're asking also for a change in the Leafs too, because like they also have to get up for these games, and I'm not sure
That's what
they're
I'm thinking,
willing
if they
to
were a
put the
better
blood,
team.
sweat, and tears against any team, really. But so like I think that the Leafs, the Sens need to get better, and the Leafs need tougher, grittier players because I'm not sure they could handle any much better from the Sens, especially with the Chuck. Like, imagine if you had a good team, like that dude would just be unstoppable, like Superman, just run around,
much
trucking
fun would that
everyone,
be?
winning 5-1. Like that, I don't want to see that. Until it comes to playoff teams, and I think that would just be amazing to see to Chuck
We
on like
still
a
have
real
an
good
Austin
team.
Matthews. Like,
Yeah, it's fair.
You're
Yeah.
discounting the Austin Matthews. He's still going to show up in these games. He loves to score against the Sens. I'd like to see Brady Tkachuk have a team around him. It's a damn shame that they don't.
Yeah, I just Brady Tkachuk to me is like would be my number one wish for my team. Like he's just he's the perfect player to me. So
Brady Tkachuk won't be available till he's like 32 years old.
yeah, maybe longer.
Yeah, if they don't keep him at that point.
Yeah.
So
I just mean that's such a valuable player that if you put the right things around him, then I think that might even be more valuable than like having one Austin Matthews. You know, like I don't know that guy. I would hate to see the Leafs play him if on a good team. Like would be just such a problem to deal with. He already is when he's on a bad team. So
yeah, I know it would be insane to see. So the last thing that I have here is the Leafs are 7-3. So they have 7 goals and they've given up 3 goals when playing 6-on-5 this year. I've got to look that up, but they have to be near the tops of the league in that. They have to be one of the best teams at pulling the goalie and getting chances. Now, it didn't work out tonight, obviously, but that's a pretty crazy stat. And they got scored on tonight by Brady Tkachuk. So they were 7-2 before that happened. That's
Right.
those are pretty good numbers. Like, I mean, just let the goalie sit on the bench at that point. Like, you just go down, just sit the goalie down. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
they're really good numbers.
yeah, I don't think we have to look it up. Like that is most definitely the best in the league. I don't think any team has been in the enough situations to pull their goalie like the Leafs have. Like they basically have gone to overtime from a comeback more than anyone as well. So yeah, I'm sure that is the most like pretty ridiculous to be honest. Like all those comebacks in in December, the end of November, like yeah, pretty insane for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for me. Do you have anything else there, CP?
My only last thing is that next time the Sens and the Leafs play, I'm pretty sure I'm just pulling this out of my ass here. I haven't looked this up, but I'm pretty sure the next time they play, I'm gonna be there. So I said that the last
Whoa.
time they played each other too, so I could be wrong again. But yeah, February I'm going to see them, so that'll be
That's
fun.
awesome.
Right on. We'll have to get a CP live on location
Yeah, at the rink.
at
Yeah.
the rink post game show. That would be
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Pop
So
on.
we'll
Yeah, that'll be
definitely
awesome.
have that. Definitely have that happening. So when do our trusted Leafs play next? They play Friday, yes, against the Blue Jackets again. The Blue Jackets
Yeah.
again.
That was 3
Yeah.
of
And then
7.
Saturday. So
God.
we thinking Sammy gets that one?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Like when I saw that Jones was getting this game, I figured that Sammy would get the next one regardless. So yeah, I think
It's
so.
a back-to-back, so he's not going to play both. They're not bringing up Dennis Hildeby, so Sammy's got to play one of them. And like you
Yeah.
probably think he plays the Blue Jackets over the Canes, right?
Yeah, maybe like they also might be just doing like he's the backup now, so he just automatically gets the second game. So I guess we'll see what Keefe's perspective on the goalies are. It'll tell us a little bit, I think. Set him up for
Yeah.
success though, for sure. Put him in the one against Columbus.
Yeah, I guess. And unless you there's always that theory. Maybe just take the 2 guaranteed points. Like the team
Right.
play the worst team with your best lineup, take the 2 points, and then it's a 50-50 shot if you're going to win the second night. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But
Yep.
we will be back after that game, right, boys? It's Friday, December 29th against
Definitely.
the Blue Jackets. We will be back post game here live on YouTube. In the meantime, follow us on social media at STDP Hockey, on STDP Hockey, on X. All of our individual handles are there. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you aren't already. We appreciate everybody watching, listening. As you do, we will see you Friday night. Peace.
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 You've been listening to
Split the Defense.
LEAFS Post-Game Edition. Hosted by Jordan Webster, Craig Pearce, and producer Ted Evans.
Split the Defense.
Is presented by LaForest Electrical Contractors. Professional and efficient service since 2004. Serving the Kingston and surrounding areas.
Zip. There we go. Done.
Nice.
Done. So I did a thing tonight for higher quality where it was delaying the uploads, so it wasn't uploading as we were recording. So we just gotta hang out a little longer on here while they. But we usually do chat after a little, anyways. And it'll probably be really quick. Yeah, I believe. Let's see. I'll just check if they're all uploaded. Yep, they're all uploaded anyway. So you guys are good to leave anyways. But yeah, I thought I'd try that tonight.
Cool.
So yeah, for the next game, I saw that thing you have in there. That's fucking dope. The live stream starting soon, and definitely